This time, I really want to highlight the healthiest vegetables you need to start eating now, like immediately. And I'm going to make it ridiculously simple and put it into one category that will help stick into your brain forever, I promise. Okay, let's make this easy. Food is complicated. Food theories are complicated. We have fighting about vegan, carnivore, what vegetable's great, is fruit bad, is fruit good, glycemic index, you name it. It seems like we are in a societal confusion on food. So when I set out to do this video, I want to point out that we've got to bring vegetables back into our diet. And we need to make sure that we are doing it in the best, healthiest way possible. Because when we look at vegetables, just because it falls under the category of vegetable doesn't mean that it's all healthy for you. So my first rule, before I dive in and show you the vegetables I love, is whenever possible, make sure you're doing organic, not conventional. The reason for that is there's a lot of pesticides that are sprayed on our vegetables, and those pesticides are endocrine disruptors. So for my females out there, when we increase our endocrine disruptors, we start to create a hormonal mess for ourselves. So let's start with the number one rule with a vegetable is making sure that we are going organic whenever possible. The second rule that is really important is diversity. Let's stop eating the same vegetable over and over and over again. We've got to make sure that we're feeding this incredible microbiome in our gut, that we're giving it the fiber it needs, we're giving it the diversity it needs, that we're giving it the minerals and the nutrients it needs. So, whenever you can, start adding new things to your salads. Stop doing the same salad. Stop doing the same vegetable. And this can even be like a healthy vegetable. I had an obsession years ago on red peppers. All I wanted to do is eat red peppers. I had like 1 or 2 a day for a year. And once I started to learn the concepts of microbial diversity, I realized, wait a second, I'm only feeding a small group of microbes in my gut. There's a lot, I can do much better than that. So I ventured out into yellow peppers because I love peppers. And when I ventured out into orange peppers, I tried to expand my love for this one vegetable into the different colors, knowing that they were going to give me different microbes, they were going to give me different minerals. So the second concept when it comes to vegetables is diversity and variation matters. Now here's the third one that I really want to emphasize, especially for my women, especially for my menopausal women. I cannot emphasize enough how important greens are. So I've got a big plate of greens here for you. And this literally came out of my refrigerator. This is how I eat on a regular basis. But what I want you to grab and think of is that you have a set of bacteria in your gut that break estrogen down. It's called the estrobolome. Sometimes we call it the estrobolome, however you want to pronounce it. But this bacteria is breaking down not only the bad estrogen in your body that's coming maybe from the pesticides on some of your foods, but it also breaks down the good estrogen. So when we're not getting things like, and I'll explain what's on my plate here right now, when we're not getting things like parsley or microgreens or something as simple as mint is amazing. When we're not every day dedicating some form of greenery to our plate when we eat, we are not feeding these bacteria that break estrogen down. And now we've got a problem. So when estrogen doesn't get broken down, you're not going to be able to use it. You're going to store it. If it's bad estrogen, you're going to store it and it becomes toxic. It gets stored in fat. There are so many ramifications for that. And it's so simple to start to eat all the greens. So how I like to do it is at least make a salad a day. And in my salads, I will put everything from chard, I'll cut up chard, to microgreens of all kinds, spinach. I'll put some baby kale. I'm not a kale hater. I don't do a ton of it, but in small amounts, it does have some benefits. I'll put parsley. I'll put mint. I do a ton of microgreens. Sprouts. You can go listen to the Resetter podcast that I did with Doug Evans, where he talks about the power of sprouts and growing sprouts yourself. I was at a new market the other day and I found this interesting lettuce. Never used it before. I'm not even sure I know the name of it, but when I looked at it, I thought, oh my gosh, my microbiome hasn't had that lettuce. I'm going to put it in my salad. So I scooped it up as a new green to add to my salad to be able to help the estrobolome. Cucumbers, amazing. Not only do they have a lot of water, not only are they going to help you get rid of water that might be stored, but you also, it's green, it's going to alkalinize your body. You could even cut some of this up and put it in a glass of water and drink it in water like spa water. Okay, you know how when you're trying to get in and out of fat burner, sugar burner, and sometimes you struggle? It might be that you have a metabolic blocker that's at play here. Want to know what those blockers are? Click on the link below and I'll take you straight to a giveaway and you can have my list of metabolic blockers. But the greens are massively important. Literally asked me, what's the healthiest vegetable you can eat? It's a plate of greens. That's it. And the more greens you eat, the more you break down estrogen, the more you help the microbiome, and the healthier you will feel. When we look at some of the things that are pressing, especially women's health right now, like should we do HRT, women going through hormone replacement therapy, going through menopause? Should you get on thyroid medication? All of these hormonal adaptations that we're using, whether it's with supplements or medication, they all require one thing to be able to work properly, and that is a healthy microbiome. And if you want a healthy microbiome, you're going to need to eat clean vegetables, you're going to need to get a variety of them, and you're going to need to up your greens. So I hope that helps. Please put in the comments if you like the food videos, kind of venturing in and out of fasting. I know so many of you love my fasting material, but fasting is only half of the equation of health when it comes to food. It's just timing of your food. But when you actually eat food, you can take all the great healing that happens with fasting and you can amplify it by adding in things like greens when you open up your eating window. I know you're struggling to lose weight. It may be your fasting length. So in this video, I'm going to show you the perfect fasting length to unstick weight loss. In fact, it's such an incredible tool for weight loss. I think you should start with fasting before you change your food to be able to get into that door in for losing weight.